The House has voted to defund Planned Parenthood, to an extent. Also, there are many other abortion providers that go completely untouched. Here are the details.
Face News Brief.
The U.S. House of Representatives voted this past Thursday, May 22nd, 2025, to pass a bill that has a provision that would block Planned Parenthood from receiving Medicaid funds. The bill is what President Trump calls the One Big Beautiful Bill, which is a legislative package of tax cuts, tax breaks, changes to safety social programs, and more. One of the things the bill does is it identifies prohibited entities which would not be allowed to receive direct spending from Medicaid for the next decade. Those prohibited entities include an entity which provides for abortions and received more than $1 million from Medicaid in 2024. That certainly includes the nation's largest abortion provider, Planned Parenthood, which received $792.2 million taxpayer dollars in the last fiscal year. That includes money from Medicaid, although the exact amount is unclear, likely in the hundreds of millions of dollars. But while the Big Beautiful Bill would block Planned Parenthood and others from receiving Medicaid funds, the language of the bill still allows abortion providers to receive money from Medicaid if they did not receive $1 million from Medicaid in 2024, or if they only perform abortions in the cases of rape, incest, or risk to the mother's life. In fact, as far as I can tell, the language of this bill would not prevent at all some newfangled abortion provider, or one that already exists but is smaller, from rising up and taking Planned Parenthood's place in the coming years and receiving all the same money that Medicaid has given to Planned Parenthood, unless some other regulation comes up that would prevent that from happening. In other words, the bill takes aim at some, but not all, abortion providers, and doesn't take aim at abortion itself at all. Now, as an important aside, because of the 1980 Hyde Amendment, no abortion provider can receive money from the government for performing abortions, except in the cases of rape, incest, or the life of the mother is at risk. And those exceptions are terrible. Number one, because you don't punish the child for the sins of the father, which would be rape and incest. And number two, there's no case in which abortion is necessary to save the life of the mother. But all that aside, the way that entities like Planned Parenthood are still receiving copious amounts of funding from the government is by providing services other than abortions. The problem with that is that when Planned Parenthood receives money for non-abortive services, it frees up capital that would otherwise go to that to be used to perform abortions. So funds are fungible. If you are supporting financially Planned Parenthood, even at a little bit for anything, you are indirectly supporting them financially for performing abortions. But now, if this bill passes, Planned Parenthood won't be getting any direct spending from Medicaid, although it could receive other non-Medicaid government funding. So headlines are reading that this bill would defund Planned Parenthood. Yes, to an extent, but it's not quite as simple as that. The One Big Beautiful Bill now goes to the Senate, and Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has said that he's been working with the Senate to make sure they get it to the president's desk by the 4th of July. So to voice your opinion about this, call your senator. A version of this story first appeared this past weekend in Project 1815, my weekly newsletter of Christian news, Bible insights, and church history. This week's edition also included some news of Christian concern from the Supreme Court, an Israeli ministry called One for Israel, a letter Christian leaders sent to President Trump about artificial intelligence, and more. The church history tidbit talked about the father of pietism, and the Bible Briefly section answers the question, did Judas hang himself or fall headlong? So head over to project1815.com to check that out and to sign up for the newsletter so you don't miss the next edition. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.